Hello, everybody. It's this really beautiful day here. You can hear the birds. It's a spectacular day. Spring's really coming. Okay, so I'm Michelle, and I have been really moved to start to read these stories. Um, in this book, it's called 101 Proofs for God, and it's written by Jim Stevens. So these are incredible inspirations that Jim um, received over 6 years. So one day I woke up and I felt I should really be getting this message out, to others, um, because God doesn't have hands or feet or a mouth. So we are those for Him. So these are some incredible stories that will just blow your mind. Okay? So today I'm going to be reading chapter 12, Chimpanzees. Let's see if I get a better picture of that. Yeah, okay. So let's read. Biologists have told us that chimpanzees are our closest relatives, and evolutionists believe that we all descended from ape-like creatures. It has been repeated for years that the DNA, it has been repeated for years that the DNA between chimpanzees and humans is 98% to 99% the same. Actually, human and chimp genome sequencing more recently has put that figure at 95% to 96%. That seems like a really small difference. And so it's plausible to think that the gap is easily overcome by a few simple mutations. Actually, not. Let's take a closer look at the reality. Human DNA in a sperm or egg has 3 billion letters or base pairs. So, what is a 2% difference out of 3 billion? It's 60 million differences. What this means is that an ape like creature would have to go through 60 million changes to their DNA to get to where it's a human being if there is only a 2% difference. 4% or 5% is going to be way more than 60 billion. 60 million characters is something like the equivalent of 20 books of information that are each 500 pages long. The Encyclopedia Britannica has only about 40 million words on half a million topics. The DNA, now hear this, the DNA of our ancestral ape would have to evolve at least 60 million times to produce a human. And we're not just talking about 60 million mutations. That's because mutations are not necessarily improvements. We're talking about 60 million improvements and advances in the ape's DNA toward a human's. And if you want to know the truth, scientists have never witnessed any mutation which adds new information. That's pretty crazy. Mutations are known to lose or confuse information. The idea that mutation is a method of advanced development is not based on observation, but on faith. The only mutations that scientists can find to study are the ones that cause diseases. So, the number of mutations would have to be many times 60 million, because only some tiny fraction of mutations might actually result in advancements. But even if we disregard the fact that mutations don't bring advancements and continue this line of thinking, does it work? No, it doesn't work. Remember, for mutation to work, it's magic. The apes had to reproduce. Reproduction is the only way that mutations can be passed down to descendants. How long does that take? Ape like creatures will have to grow to be 10 to 20 years old before they mate and produce offspring. We need to have 60 million mutations to get a human. At that rate, it's going to take a long time. Take a guess. Imagine the absolute shortest possible route. If there were one successful, if there were one successful mutation from an ape toward a human being every single generation, which is totally against science, it would still take more than 10 years, or a lifespan times 60 million changes. It absolutely could not take less than 600 million years. Can't even comprehend this. The typical evolution clock showing the history of life on Earth indicates that 700 million years ago was when the first multi-celled organisms appeared. It was about 4 million years ago, 4 million years ago, that ape-like mammals appeared. This can't cut it. As they say, it doesn't compute. 4 million years to go from an ape to a human is what evolutionists need to prove. I just showed why it would take way over 600 million years at the barest minimum. So there must be God. I think the closest way for us to be like chimpanzees is maybe we can sound like them sometimes. Ooh, 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 okay, so there must be God. Thank you so much, Jim, um, for this precious information. Okay, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you another time. Oh, let me let you know what we're reading next. We're reading chapter 13, The Infinite Monkey Theorem. Okay, bye.